Hello, welcome to 9 Design 3D. In this beginner tutorial, we will make this cute kawaii 3D character. Let's go to the video. As you remember, in our Blender interface, we have some holy cube. Now, what we will do, we will use this. With the numpad 1, you can go to the front view, with the G to move, as you remember, and press Z to lock in Z-axis. But if you want to set some value for the moving it, with the numpad 1, you can press 1. After that, you can move your cube like this. For this cube, we will add some modifier as a subdivision surface. But it's a bit block shape. You can increase your level viewport from here. And when you are in the object mode, you can right-click and shade smooth to your object. When you press Tab, you can go to the edit mode. The other shortcut is this method. You can choose your edit mode from here, but you don't have to go to here. I turn back to the object mode. Under the subdivision surface modifier, with this little icon, you can apply your modifier. Edit mode with the tab. As you see, we have some vertices on our old cube, new sphere. For this, we have to give some shape, but before all of them, you can go with the numpad 1 from the front view. From here, as you see, we have some wireframe mode. What we will do with this? If you want to get something from the front and back faces or vertices, you can use this wireframe shading. For all of that, when your sphere is selected, press Tab again, go to Edit mode and choose with the box select and press X, delete these vertices. After that, you can press Tab again and turn back to the object mode. From the Add Modifier part, you can add a mirror modifier in here, but don't forget to check clipping. You can turn back to object mode if you want from here, or you can press Z, choose your render, solid, material preview, or wireframe. This is the shortcut. I will turn back to the solid view. Now, let's give some shape to this. In edit mode, you can choose all with A and press S and Y. Give some scaling to this. But it not looks as a hamster body, we have to change something on it. Before all of that, I will add new subdivision surface modifier to this because I want some smooth shades. You can press Tab again, or you can activate your own cage, but don't forget, mirror modifier must be in the top. Now, let's give some shape to our vertices. From this, you can activate your proportional edit. Shortcut is O. As you see, when I press O, it will activate and deactivate it. I will choose this bottom face, and when you press S to scale it, as you see, we have some effect in here. With the mouse wheel, you can decrease or increase circle value in the proportional edit. It will affect when you make it bigger like this, and if you make it smaller, it will affect only little area. We can use this. But for the making clear, turn back to the front view, you can press S again and give some shape for your hamster body. And with the G to move some part of it, under the Z you can press Z to lock your axis. It will affect like this. For the side vertices, again in the front view, you can G to move some vertices and move them to the bottom. I will give some egg-type kawaii shape for my hamster body. For the top vertices, you can move it. When you press G, as you see, our mirror modifier is activated. It will affect side symmetrically. I will move it a bit. After I gave a shape to my body, if you want, you can move some vertices like this with the decreasing your circle. Press Y and lock in Y-axis. Now our little hamster's body will look like this. Let's add some ears. With the Shift A, you can add new mesh to your scene. I will add from here as a cube. You can scale it with the S, with the numpad 1, front view. I will bring it in here. You can scale a bit, maybe scale in X-axis for lock in here too. You can give a shape like this, where we want to our ears, scale in Y-axis again. Now, You can add a subdivision surface modifier from here, or when you press Ctrl 1, it will add it automatically. As you remember, you can right-click and shade smooth of it and increase your level viewport. With again, in the Z to wireframe, or from here you can make it, in Tab to Edit mode, don't forget to check this on cage. You can choose this vertices with bulk selection, press G to move. Because our proportional edit is still active, you can decrease it, make it smaller your circle. You can give a shape like this. Or this bottom vertices, you can scale them. With the closing your proportional edit, you can give shape freely. You can choose the subfaces again and scale. I added this to my ear. After that, in the solid view and object mode, you can apply your modifier. If you want to make it a bit fluffy type, you can S and Y axis, give a shape like that. With the choosing these top vertices, open up your proportional edit again, S, Y, and you can give some tiny shape for the top of your ear. You can close your proportional edit again. With the keyboard pressing 3, you can choose your face selection. You can choose some faces from here. With the box selection, it will be easy. And don't forget to press at the same time Shift. Choose these faces. With the pressing I, you can give some inset to these faces. And I will press E to extrude for these inner faces. You can make this method, we are using it too much. You can scale a bit. It's too blocky shape type. You can add some subdivision surface modifier in here too again. I want to make same thing in here too. For this ear, when it's selected, go to Add Modifier and choose this Mirror Modifier. It's mirrored it, but in the wrong way. What we can do, as you see, there is a mirror object in here. With your picker, you can choose this. It will mirror it side of them. But if you want, you can move top your mirror. Our ears are ready. If you want, you can scale them. When you scale them, it will scale these ear parts individually. Let's add some hands. For the adding hands, we can use same method. Again, I am adding a cube in here. G to move in Z-axis. I will bring it to the front with the G to move in Y-axis. I will give some cookie to my hamster hands. With the numpad 7, you can look at your mesh from the top view. You can G to move this, rotate a bit. With this, scale in Y, and when you press Y again, it will scale it object's origin axis. Now, I made it. With the numpad 3 from the side view, you can give some shape like this. Again, with the Ctrl 1, we can add our subdivision surface modifier. When you edit it getting small as you see, you can right-click Shade Smooth, scale a bit, activate your on cage, increase your level viewport. Front view, when you're pressing Tab and go to Edit, you can press E to extrude it and give some shape. When you extrude these faces, you can press Rotate for giving some rotation. With the numpad 7, move this face. With the pressing 2 for the edge selection mode, pressing Alt and choose this edge line. As you see, it selected all of them. G to move a bit. You can choose this face and scale a bit. When you choose this, you can add a mirror modifier again. As a mirror object, choose your hamster's body. Move it to the top. For the foot, you can make same thing. Add a cube to your scene. Now, let's add a mirror modifier it too. As a mirror object, choose your hamster body. Move this mirror modifier in here. It's not important because we didn't use any clipping, but it can be used too. For this, with the Shift A, we can add some UV sphere to our scene. As you see, we have a UV sphere. From this left menu, you can set up your segments and rings. When you decrease your segments value, You can give less topology for this. I can make it segments and rings equal 16. You can right-click Shade Smooth on it, scale, now, we will add some mirror modifier to choose your mirror object hamster body. It will look like this. For the make it little eye reflect, you can, now when it's selected, shift it to duplicate it. It will duplicate it like this. And you can scale them. It will scale it. You can move them to the top. But what we will do for seeing this clearly, you can G to move in y-axis. Again, you can shift it to duplicate it. It will be duplicated. You can move to the bottom with the front view. You can set it up. Let's make eyelashes to this too. With the Shift A, you can add a mesh plane. As you see, we have in plane in here. You can scale it, rotate in x-axis, G to move in y-axis. You can G to move it. You can move it top of the eye. In tap to edit mode, with the pressing on in keyboard to vertex mode, you can choose these vertices, scale them a bit, E to extrude, and rotate your vertices a bit. Shift it to duplicate it, scale. With choosing this, shift it to duplicate it, make same tick again. Now, you can choose these eyelashes and Ctrl J to join them together. Now, they are one mesh with together. You can right-click, set origin to geometry. As you remember, with the Ctrl 1, you can add some subdivision surface modifier too. We can add some mirror modifier as the same method. Our eyelashes will look like this. Let's make some curve. We will add it with the Shift A. Under the curve, you can use a path curve. As you see, there is a line in here. G to move in z-axis. Scale. When you press Tab, as you see, there are some control vertices in here. When you move them, you can give some shape for your mouth. When you choose these two vertices, press X to delete this. And when it's your curve selected, add a mirror modifier. Don't forget to check clipping. As you see, when you give some shape, it will affect symmetrically with the mirrored part. You can give a mouth shape for your character like this. It's too tiny. What we can do for this? When your curve selected, as you see in the object data properties, when you press it, you can change your resolution from here. As you see, when you decrease your resolution, it will give some blocky shape. We can set it like 5. And in this menu under the geometry, you can give some depth. When you give some depth, it will make it a pipe type. You can give some depth from here, or in this bevel resolution, you can set it up from here too. You can give some mouth shape like this with the curve. Let's make a cookie. What look like this cookie look like our eye shape. Now we can choose this, and when you pressing Shift, choose this reflection too. With the front view, you can shift it to duplicate it. When you duplicate it, it will come together. You can G to move them in y-axis. As you remember, when you choose this, we have mirror modifier in here, and it has mirror modifier in here too. You can delete them, and we have some smooth shape. You can scale it. For give some chocolate parts, or if you want to give some untied mesh type for the cookie, in tab to edit mode, you can choose some vertices with the proportional editing help. You can give some little damaged parts for your cookie maybe. For the making some chocolate parts, you can shift it to duplicate it, scale. We are using same method with the rotating some axis. Don't forget to check from the side view too. Our character will look like this. Let's add some material to our hamster. For this, we will go from here to the material preview. After that, choose this hamster body, and as you see, there are default material. If you don't have, don't worry, it will look like this. You can press new, and after that, you can set your material name. Now, you can give some hamster color from here. Which color you want, you can set it up. For the ears, I will use same hamster material. For the foot, use same material too. And for the eyes, you can set new eyes material. And from this base color, you can change it to the dark. With the decreasing your roughness, as you see, your eyes will be shiny. For this eyelashes, you can add some eyelash material. You can make it a bit brown color. For the mouth, we will add new material in here too. For the inner of ear, when you choose your ears, tap the edit mode, press 3 to face select. You can choose some faces from here when you're pressing shift. And after that, if you want to add your second material for your hamster body, you can press this plus icon, and after that, under this, you can add a mouth material, or you can add new material from here too. And don't forget to assign your material. When you assign it, it will give some color inner of it. If you want to add some cheek type, you can shift it to duplicate it, scale this eyes. If you want to change this eye material, you can maybe delete and add new material for the cheeks. Add a new color for this. For the cookie, you can make same thing. Press new material. Give some color like this. For this chocolate part, you can set your chocolate material. If you want to add all this chocolate, you don't have to select one by one and apply your chocolate material. You can choose this chocolate separately, and after that, last selection, material at 1. And now you can press Ctrl L and press link material. It will affect all of them. Our hamster will look like this. Let's get some render. You can change your viewport shading render it. As you see, when you add some extra lights, it will affect like this. With the pressing numpad 0, as you see, we have in camera angle, under the view, navigation and walk navigation. With the right click on it, you can add the quick favorites too. When you press Q and press walk navigation with the WASD, you can use your camera from here. With the shift, you can make it speed. But before all of that, let's add some mesh plane. Press tab and press 2. Close your proportional edit. Choose this edge line E to extrude in Z-axis. For this middle edges, we can use Ctrl B to bevel, and with the mouse wheel, you can increase this bevel edges. And after that, shade smooth. You can add a color. Let's set up our light. You can G to move your light, maybe from back. And you can increase your power. 300. You can set your color lights from here too. If you want to add some extra lights with the Shift A, under the lights, you can set an area light in here. I will G and Z, G to move it, G to move in Y-axis, rotate in X-axis a bit. You can scale this area light. From here, you can set your power. You can give some color for your lights too. From the camera angle, it will look like this. If you want to get some extra light, As the same of this, you can shift it to duplicate your light. Rotate in z-axis a bit. You can give some light for your hamster like this. After you set all the lights from here, go to output settings. You can set up your resolution from here. And under this render, I will get some render in Cycles engine. If you want, you can get some Eevee render too. It will affect like this when you select your ambient occlusion, bloom, and screen space refraction. You can get some render from Eevee in here too. But I will change it to the cycle. Now, what we can do in here, under the color management, you can set your look as a high contrast. When you set it high contrast, it will give like this an effect. I will set it high contrast or maybe medium high. It can be better for me. For the getting render, you can press render and render image. If you get some cycles render, it will give this type of resolution for you. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later in new tutorials.